Something massive is unfolding across the African continent. It's not on most news channels. It's not part of most mainstream discourse, but it's real, and it's growing every day. We're not talking about a colonial invasion, not aid dependency, not chaos. We're talking about a continent that's become the central arena of 21st century power politics. A continent being contested, courted, and increasingly carving its own future. This is TubeGeo, and today we decode the most important global shift you've probably never heard enough about: the new scramble for Africa. Africa's importance is rooted in three undeniable pillars: resources, demographics, and geography. Let's begin with what lies beneath. The continent holds 60% of global cobalt reserves, over 80% of the world's platinum group metals, vast supplies of lithium, manganese, graphite, and rare earth elements, all essential to the global energy transition. The Democratic Republic of Congo alone supplies over 70% of the world's cobalt, a metal essential for electric vehicle batteries and tech infrastructure. Zimbabwe, Namibia, Madagascar, and South Africa are emerging as key players in the lithium and graphite supply chain. Now let's move above ground. Africa holds 65% of the world's remaining uncultivated arable land. It's not just the future of mineral supply, it's the future of food security. And demographically, by 2050, the continent's population will reach 2.5 billion. That means every fourth person on Earth will be African. It will be the youngest, most dynamic workforce in the world. While other regions age, Africa grows. While others stagnate, Africa builds. Finally, geography. Africa borders critical maritime choke points like the Bab el-Mandeb, linking the Red Sea to the Indian Ocean, and the Strait of Gibraltar, connecting the Mediterranean to the Atlantic. Whoever influences Africa influences the flow of global trade, energy, and security. China was the first to understand Africa's 21st century potential and act on it at scale. Under the Belt and Road Initiative, China has poured billions into African infrastructure: ports, railways, industrial zones, power grids. Chinese engineers built the standard gauge railway in Kenya, the Lekki deep sea port in Nigeria, and upgraded corridors from Angola to Zambia. But China's influence isn't just in steel and concrete, it's in digital infrastructure too. Through Huawei, China is providing everything from 5G networks to biometric surveillance systems, from cybersecurity centers to government databases. It's what Beijing calls the digital Silk Road, a strategic export of technology and norms. Meanwhile, Confucius Institutes, Chinese university partnerships, and medical diplomacy are spreading soft power, influencing not only policy but perception. As of 2024, China remains Africa's largest bilateral trading partner, with annual trade surpassing $240 billion, more than the entire Eurozone combined. And while Western nations debate conditionality, China brings speed. Loans are fast, deals are large, and influence is growing. The question is no longer whether China is present in Africa. The question is how much more deeply embedded it will become. Russia's approach is fundamentally different: opportunistic, irregular, and often invisible, until it's not. After its invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Moscow faced economic sanctions and diplomatic isolation, so it pivoted hard toward Africa. And its playbook: leverage instability, offer security, and embed influence where the West has failed. Countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, all rocked by coups, expelled French forces and welcomed Russian-backed mercenaries. These forces, once called the Wagner Group, now operate under a formal Kremlin-backed banner: Africa Corps. Their mission? Protect illiberal regimes, secure mining sites, suppress opposition, and project power without the burden of diplomacy. But it doesn't stop there. Russia is deploying information warfare at scale: telegram channels, state-sponsored radio, propaganda campaigns in local languages. And diplomatically, Moscow forgives debt, sends discounted grain, and offers weapons with no strings attached. In return, it gains UN votes, mining concessions, and regional footholds. Russia is not offering long-term development. It's offering short-term dominance. And for many regimes, that's enough. The West is now playing catch-up. After 2 decades of fighting terrorism in the Sahel, the United States and European powers are recalibrating their Africa strategies. The U.S. has shifted from large-scale deployments to a light footprint approach. Special forces now train local troops. Surveillance drones gather intelligence from coastal hubs. And partners like Ghana, Kenya, and Benin are becoming new regional pivots. At the same time, the West is investing in digital resilience, programs aimed at countering Chinese tech infrastructure, promoting open internet principles, privacy protections, and regulatory independence are gaining traction. Meanwhile, the European Union is focused on climate diplomacy and migration control. Billions are being invested in green energy, adaptation programs, and border management systems. But there's a challenge. Western promises often come slower, with more conditions and more bureaucracy. In the face of China's pragmatism and Russia's ruthlessness, the West is offering values. But those values now face stiff competition. Amid all this external interest, something powerful is happening from within. The African Continental Free Trade Area, or AFCFTA, is the most ambitious economic integration project in African history. Launched in 2021, it now unites 54 countries under a shared goal. Create a single market, boost intra-African trade, build continental value chains. By 2045, intra-African trade is expected to increase by over 45%. New digital payment systems like PAPSS are linking central banks and reducing the need for US dollar transactions. Meanwhile, cities like Lagos, Nairobi, and Kigali are emerging as tech hubs, with fintech startups attracting billions in venture capital. Africa is no longer just supplying minerals. It's exporting code, culture, and capital. This isn't just a pivot, it's a revolution in self-determination. But challenges remain. To fully unlock AFCFTA's potential, the continent needs $120 billion in transport infrastructure, wider internet access, currently under 40%, and sustained energy investment. Still, and for the first time in decades, the vision of Pan-African economic strength is becoming more than a dream. It's a framework, it's a strategy, and it's working. So what does this all mean? The old world order, defined by Western dominance, is shifting. A new multipolar era is emerging. Africa is no longer the object of global power. It is becoming a subject, a strategic actor with agency. It is the future of global labor, the hub of the energy transition, the next frontier of digital innovation, and the most decisive geopolitical battleground of this century. In the next 50 years, Africa may host 3 of the world's 10 largest economies. It may define the global approach to climate, tech ethics, and security cooperation. This is no longer a question of who shapes Africa, but of how Africa will shape the world. This was the next scramble for Africa. This is TubeGeo. And if you want to understand where the world is heading, start here. One continent, one competition, one map at a time. Subscribe for more geopolitical storytelling, Decoded.